Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I had some time today. I had a day off, and I finally got really a chance to experiment with, what's you can really do in this update. I think that I kind of threw a lot of my Corvettes together. Didn't quite really go deep into what you can do. And I sat down today and just played around for a little while, looking at, different things, trying new things. So this is the back of the newest Corvette that I've built. I got, like shield generators down here. The structure is like really not that complicated. And I really don't love the way the front end looks, but it's kind of, I don't know. Once you see the interior, I guess it'll make sense when you look at the inside. Now, one thing I did really play around with is using interior items like building parts on the outside. It's really cool that you can just kind of put whatever you want on the outside of the ship and it just becomes part of the ship. So I did experiment with that quite a bit. I put these icons on these panels. So the panels themselves can actually be attached to the ship itself. And I think that's how some of these, I talked about that in the last video. I think that's some of, the way that some of these people on other channels or whatever, some of the builds you're seeing are getting such like, sleek looking designs because they're just kind of covering it in panels. And yeah, you can do that. I think I might even do more of that, like maybe up here, because when I built this, I originally wanted to put like more windows down here, but it wasn't letting me. And I think that's because this is this piece. It's actually a hatch. But I also wasn't able to put one here or like here, so I don't know. It was a little weird. But yeah, so I just put like kind of some cool stuff up on the front, just kind of decorative stuff. I think it's cool that also you can put things in here. I don't know what that piece is that's hanging down, maybe a light or something, but it's kind of phasing through there, but I still think it looks cool either way. Yeah, signs, like your options are pretty intense. This is actually more than what I had. I think it's just because I'm actually near a city, one of my bases, so I'm not really just getting the building parts for the ship. That's another thing that would probably be interesting if I don't know. So if I built something, I don't know if it would be part of the ship and stay attached to it, or if it would just be considered part of the base that I'm near. Either way, I'm going to show you the inside. And it's kind of like small at the bottom, but this is actually, I don't know, it's much bigger than it looks when you first walk into it. So like, it's all storage at the bottom for the most part. There's just decorative stuff. Now, one thing I did notice, and I hadn't noticed originally, is like, depending on what habitation module you have, the actual modules that you put in, they are different based on which habitation model you're using. So this nutrient processor I hadn't even seen before because, and this is really cool, it kind of reminds me of Star Wars. I think that's probably the idea of the Thunderbird sort of habitation design. I'm going to take off, though, is what I'm actually going to do. So I'm going to spoil some of the interior for you here real quick, but I will walk you through the whole thing. I'm going to take off because I want to get away from this base so that I can actually show you, like, what you would actually be able to see as far as, building parts inside. So we'll go right back down. I thought I could be slick there. I didn't sneak down there. All right, so generally what the idea here is kind of similar to the one of the ones I've shown you. Is, you know, there's hatches to get up in. There's actually two of these hatches that open, one on either side. And then I built, you know, this pretty much everything I could on each level, because each level is different. So the bottom level here is the Thunderbird class. Then I have the Titan class on the second floor, and then the Ambassador class on the top. I also tried to build like as many windows as I could. I don't like the way that these attach to each other. It's kind of irritating. I feel like they should blend together better, because now you have like this weird glass ball thing that's kind of in the middle. Kind of bugs me. I'm sure they'll kind of fix that up, but these windows, as I've said before, are super cool. Like, I'm like standing out in the middle of space in a way. You're kind of outside of the ship. So yeah, it's all storage containers down here. I put every storage container I could down here at the bottom. And then on both sides, they're identical, symmetrical on either side. So there's this nutrition processor and all that stuff. Then you go up the stairs, and it's going to be Titan class. And so this is the nutrient processor for the Titan class, which is a little different. And it's kind of cool. It gives like a kind of a Fallout vibe. I kind of like that. It's pretty cool. And then the window here. I think this looks nice all together with a window. This is one of my main engines, so like it kind of blocks the view. But I like putting these sort of plant modules up because they're just something that looks nice. It's decorative and it doesn't take up a lot of space. And then I put a couch with a little, you know, monitor here. And then, let's see, if we go this way, I just have like a bio crate. There's a mission radar, storage containers, more refiners, and then just a window here that kind of phases through for some reason. But it's kind of cool. I don't mind it. I kind of like just putting windows anywhere I can, just because the more you can see out into... I just think the game looks great with the... You know, just in the vacuum of space. It's like there's planets, there's spaceships, there's stations. This was interesting, too. I'm not really sure what I'm seeing here. I'm pretty sure it's like the back of one of those panels. But there was a gap here to begin with, so I thought that was kind of odd. And these are just walkways. They're not the actual habitation models. These two right here are actually just walkways. So it's kind of... I don't know if they didn't work the right way or why there's a gap there, but I've pretty much just put windows wherever I can, wherever it lets me. Now this is pretty much symmetrical on the other side. It's all a lot of decoration. Come over here and there's more, you know, just viewpoints and, you know, just random stuff that I throw on. This I think is kind of cool too. It's an autophage piece. I think it's kind of cool that it fits there. I wish it would kind of like, I don't know, I kind of want to pull it away from the wall a little bit so it doesn't quite phase through the way it is. But I think it's a cool piece to put in somewhere like this. And then you got refiners and more windows. And the windows are just so cool when you're doing like autopilot things. So that's like my, you know, it's like a little kitchen. Then you come up to the Ambassador class section, and this is like, it's pretty much got all the essentials. So I put a little bed here on the side. There's a medical unit, save point. Then you got a refiner, another refiner, Gravitino bulbs, or balls, star brambles, planners, just like, I don't know. I just pretty much tried to put everything I could in here. I got a couple storage containers with things that I would like, that are valuable or whatever. Then I have hazard protection, health, all that stuff. I put a little multi-tool shelf here. It's interesting that you can resize this part because the multi-tools, it's kind of weird that the multi-tools actually scale. It would be really cool if you actually could display multi-tools that you have on these racks. I think that would be really sweet. Or, you know, because it is a multi-tool archive, so any of the tools that you have put in your archive, it's like, why can't you just display them as part of it? That would be really cool. It's a good idea to... Maybe I should submit that to their Zendesk. So yeah, it's really cool. You can put like a good chunk of base parts in the ship, and that's awesome. I think these lights are probably a little too bright, but I think they look cool anyway, so it is what it is. I put fireplaces in here just because I was looking for stuff to fill in this room. This is just a walkway, and it wasn't letting me build windows. I think it probably just has to do with the shape of the ship. But what I did, I'll show you, I guess, the kind of general layout of how it's built. But yeah, I built like a living room here, similar to what I showed you in the first video with the Star Destroyer sort of Corvette. Then this is kind of decorated a little bit with some just random stuff in here. And I also talked about it in the other video. I really wish I could put things up here in these shelves. Eventually I'll play around more and get things up there, whatever they may be. I mean, really, generally, that's it. There's a radar, multi-tool archive, then I just kind of threw some more parts in. I'm going to fly to the space station. Because I kind of want to show, yeah, I kind of want to give you a good idea of, like, what it, you know, how it's built, I guess, just the general layout of it. It's not super complicated. I think it was just like 3x3 with a couple of the little walkway sections, which are basically half sections of the habitation modules. So nothing too complicated, but I do like the concept of like the panels on the outside. That's something that I might play around more with as well. But I just wanted to do a little update just because I built this thing today. And try and give you some tips, I guess. Maybe show you some ideas. I mostly just want to give people a little bit of motivation to build things. Because I know sometimes in this game, I don't know, sometimes people just kind of run out of things they feel like they need to do. And it's hard to, you kind of have to set your own goals in this game, is what I'm saying. So sometimes it's nice seeing people and, you know, getting the inspiration from it. So we'll see if this will, I mean, I'm at 110 parts, but, which really it should be more than that, but this is the general layout though. So I think I'm pretty sure it's 3x3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I think there's just one more here sticking out of the top. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that is 3. And then underneath it, it's also 3. Yeah, so 3x3. Then what I did was I took the walkways and then I did a little elbow. So 1, 2, 3. These parts look really cool. I really like using that. They're thrusters. And then it's the same on the other side. This little cowling I put here because I think it looks cool with like the rockets underneath it. And it looks like kind of an armor sort of thing to protect your shield generator if you're into, you know, the lore, I guess. Headcanon type of things. This is a cargo pod. But the concept obviously is like it's just armor and shield to protect your weaponry and shields. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I should have done a better job with the front. It looks kind of awkward, but I do like the idea originally was to make it windows, and then it just wasn't letting me make windows. Because the thing is, you have to build it, then go in and then make your windows. Because you really want to try and hit your part limit while you're building the Corvette, because all of the pieces that you place inside the Corvette don't count towards the complexity limit, or they do rather, but it won't count towards it. I guess, how do you explain that? If you do that while you're building it still, it will count all those parts towards the complexity limit, and you want to use as many as you can in the actual ship builder before you go in and decorate. So always build the structure of the ship first, then go in and decorate. So I don't know if that's explaining it the right way, but yeah, that's the order you want to do it for sure. But yeah, this concept is cool with their panels, and that's all it is. It's literally just these. Well, that's not in here now. It's not going to show me. If I exit, I guess it would. Yeah, maybe it won't. Well, I guess I gotta fly out. Yeah, it's very, I don't know, it's very weird because it's a mobile base that I don't know, it's gotta be hard to program. I'm surprised that this came out so fast. They had to have been working on this for a while. So I'm just gonna get out into space again. Get back up. And look at this. Like, you see, like, there's a lot of these visual bugs still. And I just don't get what it is. And sometimes you just fall through the ground. Usually when I see this visual bug, that usually means I'm about to fall through into outer space, I guess. But yeah, so literally all it is these panels. Where are they? I think they're under this. Yeah, right here. Flat panels. So you can resize these, and I've used them for a few different things in different builds. But you just take these panels and you stick them on the wall or the exterior of your ship, and it really smooths things out. And then you can do all these different colors, black, yellow. It's really nice. But with that in mind, you can use anything. So, like, I think the really cool thing is, I was going to try something like that giant sign, this right here, because you can resize this to be really big. So I don't know, I thought about maybe putting it on the outside somewhere. And yeah, interestingly enough, like, I haven't seen a lot of like frame rate issues or frame dropping in general since that last update. So it's been impressive. I've been really happy with this update. They just need to figure out how to not have you phase through the floor. Also, I think it's really nice that you can, like, in your cockpit, you can actually see the structures that you've built outside. Dude, they've just done just a fantastic job with this. At any rate, I just wanted to show you generally where I'm trying to go with this build, and hopefully give you some inspiration. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it, as always. See you next time.